Hello, I'm Fast Lawyer. Today we're going to review Mars 2030 VR, an experience that was released on the Steam store July 31st, 2017 by developer FMG Labs. It normally retails for $14.99. I got this game as part of my paid Viveport Infinity subscription, which I am ending soon, and I thought I'd review one of the last games I'll do on the Viveport. I tested it out on the Meta Quest 3 using a link cable on my RTX 3080. Mars 2030 is not really a game. It's an educational app, and it's probably the best Mars simulation in VR. But although there are some gameplay elements, it's not really a game, and this game is definitely very niche. It's for those interested in space, space nerds, people who dream of being in Mars. If you love sci-fi, if you love science, if you love space, then this is probably an experience that is a must experience for VR. But keep in mind, like I said, it's not really a game, so the gameplay elements are really lacking here. But in my opinion, that's perfectly fine, because like I said, this is the best simulation of Mars. It's a good educational experience, and it just totally beats out anything on the Quest. Quest standalone has a lot of space programs now. A lot of them are mixed reality, and those just pale in comparison to what PC VR had back in 2017. And the sad part is that there really aren't better space simulations in VR since that time period, unfortunately. Graphics do matter when it comes to immersion in VR. If you want to feel like you're actually on Mars, having the best graphics possible helps in giving you that feeling. And this app is one of the best as far as giving you a realistic representation of being on Mars. And it is incredible that since 2017, we really haven't had an experience that tops this. If you had asked me in 2017 what VR would look like in the year 2024, I would have told you that we would have even better space simulations, realistic looking ones. And the sad part is that VR developers, unfortunately, are not trying to make top-end VR experiences anymore. They're going to where the money is, and unfortunately that's on the Quest store. I don't blame them, but that has led to the VR quality not being as good as it should be and not being as jaw-dropping. We should have VR experiences right now today that are absolutely hard to distinguish from reality, but we don't because of limitations in hardware, in funding in the right directions. We've gone backwards in VR instead of going forward, and unfortunately this is the result. A experience from 2017 is still better than anything else currently, several years later. Mars 2030 is running on the Unreal Engine. On my RTX 3080, I was getting mostly 90 frames per second. I did notice a few frame rate drops, but keep in mind I had this on epic level quality graphics. You have full locomotion along with smooth turning. You can choose the speed of your turn, which is very odd for a game from 2017 to have full locomotion and smooth turning. There is a comfort option as well. I was able to play comfortably seated without any issues. Most of the VR interactions are of the point and click type interaction. About the only interaction that doesn't fit that description would be driving, operating the Mars rover vehicle. Honestly, I did not enjoy operating this vehicle at first, but once I got used to the controls, I came to be okay with it. It's like operating with a virtual joystick, as that is how you control the vehicle inside the cockpit of the vehicle. So you'll have to move your fist forwards and move it sideways in order to determine whether you're moving forward or you're moving in a strafe-like manner with the vehicle. The good news is that you can either auto travel, where you'll just be the passenger in the vehicle as the vehicle operates itself, or you can fast travel to your location as well. Gravity is much lower in Mars, so you'll be able also to space hop around, which was my personal favorite way of getting around Mars. There's actually 40 square kilometers of of open Martian terrain, which the developers say is accurately mapped and modeled using NASA satellite data produced in collaboration with NASA. So that is actually very exciting to explore as a space nerd. But keep in mind, since it's accurately modeled, that means you're not going to be running into any space worms or anything like that. You're definitely not Douglas Quaid in Total Recall. Again, this is not really a game. This is an educational experience, a real space simulation of being in Mars, what being some of the first humans in Mars would be like. And this game does a great job of simulating that experience. It really is very realistic. I was in total awe of Mars and just being able to visit and see some of these spectacular vistas, day or night, and especially with some of the weather effects. I didn't show this on the video, but I came across a dust storm and I got out of my vehicle and I started just facing it directly, and it was an awesome experience. If you come across a dust storm, definitely don't run away from it. Go towards it, drive towards it, and get out of your vehicle and enjoy the dust storm, because they are spectacular. You will be in awe. If I do have any criticism of this game, it is that some of the activities are pretty superficial, like you keep planting this flag and you may collect a rock or two, and that's pretty much it. So there really isn't much gameplay, and the little bit of gameplay that there is kind of superficial and kind of repetitive as well. But the Mars exploration is the best there is in VR, and I highly recommend this game. If I have to rate it, I would give it an excellent 8 out of 10. It's a must experience for any space nerd out there.
We've long suspected that islands could have been formed undersea on Mars. These look like the remnants of deep water mass transport deposits.